Welcome to the Zone, and welcome to my 100th video for the channel. I didn't know what to do for a 100 video special, but I was given the idea to do a short Q&A video with questions that come from my patrons and my Discord users. First and foremost, I want to thank all of my patrons, my Jannies, my server boosters, and all of my loyal subscribers who have made this possible. If you guys do like the video, feel free to like and subscribe, and check out all the other ones. I have 100 of them now that are public. If you do find that you do like the videos, feel free to like and subscribe. I try to post 3 times a week as well, so you should also hit that little bell notification to stay up to date with all the newest videos. Without further ado, let's get into some juicy questions. The first one is from Templar. Why is it always so cold and dreary in the zone? Well, that's a great question. Well, given the fact that Chernobyl is in the Vyshhorod area of Ukraine, I think it's Vyshhorod, and the story takes place there, I'd imagine that it has more to do with the actual weather in that area than anything else. I suppose that if we wanted to craft some kind of deeper reason, we could say it has to do with the noosphere or something. We could even try to do some kind of Silent Hill style reason for why it's always raining after an emission or something like that. But I'm just going to go with the first answer and say it's because of Ukraine's relatively low average temperatures and the number of rain days per month. Next question. Chernobyl Wolf. What are other things you want to do on your channel other than UrbEx, Storytime, etc.? How about trying new things? The thing is, this channel all started with UrbEx and it actually drifted from that. So there's always going to be new ideas that I'll just run with. I hope to be doing more camping, outdoor, and LARPing videos as soon as I get time to, but with more hiking and more camping. Like going on longer trips and recording them. As far as new things that you haven't seen before, I've got a couple of gear reviews that I intend to start doing. I'll also be doing more prepping videos at some point because they've been requested. Honestly, there's so many things I want to do that I've only been toying with the idea. But I'm thinking about doing a second channel. One that will be all in real life kind of stuff like camping, hiking, gear reviews, all that stuff. And the other channel for lore and gaming and all the other variety. I want to show off some of my gun builds as well, which I think I would have to do on a second channel. And I actually want to finish a couple of the short films that I've been working on, which would probably go on this main channel. But the bottom line is I want to do a lot of things that I just haven't gotten around to doing because of life just getting in the way. As the channel grows, I imagine that I'll be able to scale back my working hours and prioritize content creation and doing longer-term filming and projects. Next question is from Stingray47. What made you want to start YouTube? Genuinely curious. Well, I started the channel as just a way to host videos of myself crawling through broken down and abandoned farmhouses while pretending I'm an autistic Gopnik. But as I've said before, the lore videos and other stuff they were really just supposed to be filler when in between when I could go out and film. I had like a 3-month break where I didn't do anything with the channel back when I started. I think I uploaded a couple of videos and then it was nothing. This is like last year sometime. And then I logged in one day randomly just to upload another video from when I had been out filming. And I saw it was like tens of thousands of views on a couple of the videos, and people liked my narration and stuff. And yeah, I just figured why not just dump some more. I also realized around that time that there really isn't much Stalker stuff out there on YouTube, at least in English. You have a few guys out there like Anomalous Dugout and a couple of others, but really there's not much out there. And I really just wanted to make videos that I was interested in watching myself, and I found out that I really liked doing it. So I suppose the need for file hosting was what started it, but the fun is what keeps it going. X51. If you could UrbEx / in a woods explore any place in the US, which place would you go to and why? I would probably like to explore 3 Mile Island, I think. Barring that, I would really love the chance to go through some of the really old and abandoned areas of like Detroit, Michigan, or Gary, Indiana, or something like that. without having to worry about the horde of zombie junkies attacking and killing me. There's a lot of cool places out there that seem really interesting, but the distance and my general love of not dying to junkies has kind of put those adventures off for a while, at least for the time being. Next one is from Battlefield 101. What motivates you to make videos other than money? Well, to the second part of your question, we'll just address that first. Money isn't really a factor, mainly because I don't make much of it at all. Gaming content on YouTube is pretty saturated. It's like a dime a dozen. And while I'm not exactly a gaming channel per se, being associated with a video game puts me in that category for sure. So on average, I think I make about like $2 to $10 a day from ads for all my videos, which is actually, I mean, it's pretty good. Like when you think about it, because it's something I like to do. So I'm getting paid to do things I think are fun, which is awesome. But it's not going to pay the bills at all. Don't get in this for the money. Because the only real time you're going to make money is if you're part of like a super huge channel or something. Or you have a bunch of great patrons who really love and help you out with supporting your content. Oh, which I do have 9 of right now as of making this video. So thank you to you guys again. But as far as what really motivates me, it's honestly the just creating videos and stuff that I would have liked to have seen when I was younger, like 18-ish. And the landscape has changed so much on the internet since I was that age. And it's just kind of crazy. And while, yeah, I like doing videos the way that, I would have liked to have seen them when I was a kid. And I know that's not what a lot of people want anymore. My boomer ways seem dated sometimes, but I think there's more than enough people out there who like both Stalker and just the way I do stuff to make it, all worth it in the end. And you get to meet a lot of cool people along the way doing it, so that's always a plus too. That kind of motivates me as well. Norin, how/why you started stalking? As far as going off in the woods with guns and camping or hiking or whatever, I've pretty much done that with friends my entire life, I think. It just kind of happens when you live out in the country and you like guns. There's no real reason why. It just does. So I've been forever. I don't know. If we're talking about like actual stalker LARP / the Soviet milsurp stuff, dressing up like the stalker thing, that started because it looked cool and I liked games. And I saw people were doing it and sharing pictures of all their gear and all the places they would adventure to on K. Back, I don't know, it's like 10 years ago. Wow, that's crazy to think about. And I just kind of followed along. And this was really when I started filming stuff, at least. That's when I really started the YouTube channel and decided to not just take pictures, but actually film and post stuff here. So that's really how and why I started. I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know how to answer that one because it all blends together. Alexa, one item that you would bring into the zone without hesitation. Well, if I was randomly tossed into the zone and I could only pick one thing to take with me, I would take some kind of documentation that would allow me to get past the cordon without being shot or arrested. Pass of some kind, or, I mean, maybe an American passport would do it. Just run up to them holding your passport. Maybe they wouldn't, I don't know, maybe they wouldn't just murk you straight up. But then I'd use that to leave and not die a horrible and agonizing death. If you meant what would I take with me if I was going willingly, I would certainly take a detector so that you don't randomly end up walking through an anomaly and dying. Without it, you're going to have a pretty bad time, unless you're experienced enough to know what they look like and know the signs. But I feel like playing the games isn't enough to do that. Rook, how did you find Stalker and your story? I found Stalker back in, I started playing the games in college, which must have been like 2012 or 2013, I think. As far as my story, I really don't have one, man. I'm just a dude who likes making videos. I mean, as most people know, I'm married. I got a job. I like to work in my truck. So I'm pretty normal. I just have some odd autistic hobbies and interests that I like to film. Goonwalker. Make sure y'all go subscribe to Goonwalker too, by the way. I'll have a link to his channel in the description. When are we going to go mutant hunting? Well, hopefully this winter I'll be down in your neck of the woods. We should be able to kill some skinwalkers and slot some snorks around that time. We'll cook some meat steaks over the fire too. Mono. When will the Mutant Manual series be done? Lots of us want to know how to murder those pesky dogs in the most effective way. Well, actually, I'll be doing a video on the different kind of dogs shortly. Probably Friday or next week. I've had a script ready for the longest time already. I just haven't recorded it because of life getting in the way. But since you asked, I may as well just go ahead and do it. Really, the issue is I just didn't prioritize it. I've got like a punch list of like 50 different videos I'm trying to work on, and I really only have a limited amount of time to get stuff done. So yeah, if you guys do have an idea for a video, drop it to me over on the Discord, and I'll see if I can get to it. I might already have a script written up, and I just need to record it and throw it up there. So who knows? You might get lucky. Zaver, I think that's how you say it. Xaver. Zaver. What do you think about running Stalker as a tabletop RPG? If you are into tabletop RPGs, the question goes on, especially using the Fate condensed system. Here's another good example of what I just said. I used to play all sorts of tabletop games back in the day, 40K, War Machines, D&D, all that jazz. And we actually have a game that is coming up. We will be recording the first session of it on Saturday, and I should be posting it Monday, I think. I'm not sure exactly what the schedule is going to look like. But we're going to be using the D20 Modern system for it, which is very similar to Dungeons & Dragons 3.5, if you guys ever played that. We also were considering using Call of Cthulhu for a bit, just because of some of the systems and mechanics they have, and that seemed like they'd fit really well. But we ended up going with D20 Modern. I've only ever played like a Fate-related system once, and I think, yeah, you could easily adapt it to do something for Stalker. I think it'd be a great system. It's just I'm not familiar with it enough to run a game with it, so I just went with what I knew. But yeah, I think it would definitely work out pretty well. Thor Zero. What is your favorite weapon while exploring the zone, and why? Either IRL or in the game. In-game, I would have to say that my favorite gun is the TR-301. It's just pretty cool. I don't have a gameplay reason for it. The LR-300 is basically unobtainium in the real world, and messing with it in Stalker is really fun because the TR-301 is basically the LR-300, which is a really cool gun. I'll actually have a future video when my project is finished, but I've been attempting to build a knockoff LR-300, which I'm just going to call the TR-301 for the video. I've been taking all the game pictures and trying to copy it as close as I can. It involves a lot of jank and Bubba gunsmithing, but I think I'll get it done. And when it's done, that will be my favorite IRL weapon as well, because there's nothing like building your own gun and loving it forever. But currently, my favorite one, IRL, is my Shockwave 590. It's definitely not the most practical thing to carry around with you in the world, as you saw from the video with me and Beans just playing with it. But I have a system set up in my backpack where it just slits in there perfectly. And it's small and it's great to carry around all day. It's not heavy. It doesn't take up a lot of space. It's really, really good. And that's really the only the only redeeming factor about the 590. But it's a redeeming enough factor to make it the go-to backpack gun for me. Next question from Vale, I think. Vale. There we go. How do you find a good spot for stalking? Honestly, it can be pretty hard depending upon where you live. In my case, I have a lot of abandoned farms that are just scattered through all out my state. Agricultural buildings, things like that, very easy to find. You can just look for them on Google Maps or something like that, and really, honestly, half the time, I'll just be driving around a back road. Like, I'll deliberately take a back road, and I'll just find them. just just driving along. As far as for more interesting places, you can just Google abandoned sites in your area, or check out like EPA cleanup sites or government sites for decommissioning, things like that. In my case, though, these didn't work very well. Most of the old government infrastructure in my area has been sold off to private owners, and they will actively be using them. I've driven out hours to scout like an abandoned missile silo, and I found out that it's an Airbnb. Like they turned it into an Airbnb. It's just horrific, really. But I've driven across the state to an old decommissioned Army Air Base field, and I found out that was owned by a crazy old guy who threatened to kill me. But your mileage may vary, bud. So yeah, just check around, do what you can. I mean, it's not possible everywhere, unfortunately. Dr. Other Boomer, what is your mod list? the most asked question of all time. Honestly, I don't go hard on the modding at all. I've done Expedition, Gunslinger, and normally I'll throw Boomsticks and Sharpsticks in on Vanilla Anomaly, and that's mainly what I go with. I know people mod the crap out of the game, but I'm just not that guy. Next question is from How do bloodsuckers and freedomers reproduce in detail? Well, my friend, that is an Odyssey exclusive right there. That's right up there with the ball stretcher anomaly. Look for that on Odyssey. Next question is from the Slavic Llama. If you had to live permanently in one area of the zone, which would it be and why? I would probably live in the Darkscape because there's nothing there. And it's close to the cordon, so I could always just head to Rookie Village or something and grab supplies when I needed them. From a practical standpoint, that seems to be the best place to try and just basically spend as long as you can there, alive. From a coolness perspective, I really like the garbage just because of how the area is designed, really. Yantar is also a contender for coolness, and it would always be cool to just chill with the ecologists in their little bunker. Next question is from Sir Zambian. What would be your favorite / most feared entity? Mutant, faction, or anomaly? For mutant, I would probably have to say the Chimera, just because I seem to die to those things unexpectedly most of the time. They just wreck me out of nowhere, and and I seethe and cope and scream. As far as an anomaly, the Fruit Punch is also pretty high on my no-no list. Just because, imagine falling into one of those things and getting dissolved in a pool of bubbling green goo. It's not a good time. Honestly, just outright getting dissolved and killed would be a blessing, though, if you consider just falling in up to your waist or something. And your friend has to pull you out, and before you die, you're gonna wish you were dead. It's gonna be a horrible, agonizing death. And as far as the faction, my most feared faction or favorite, I guess favorite. I mean, I'll do favorite. Your favorite, I don't know. I'm always in a toss-up. It's always either between Monolith and Freedom or the Mercs. I don't know. They're all awesome. Last question, Dinka Rubles. What are your thoughts on the generation split in the Stalker fandom? Well, as tradition, the last question has to be the most intricate and nuanced. So people my age who played Stalker years ago are certainly a different breed than the kids who are playing today. First, most of the kids playing today are playing Stalker Anomaly. That's just not debatable. An Anomaly's fine in its own right. It's got the atmosphere done right. It's got the general feeling of being Stalker while being updated and removing some of the slob jank. It's great, honestly. The thing about it, though, is that many younger guys playing Stalker for the first time today, especially after the Drewski video that just came out a week or two ago, they're playing a different game than us. It's just a fact. The Stalker Gamma isn't really what I think of when somebody says Stalker, right? It's not bad or anything like that. It's just a very different experience from, Shadow of Chernobyl. The difference is enough to really create a huge divide, though, you're right. because of what people want. I know that there will probably be many people that are new to the series that will be expecting Stalker 2 to be very similar to Gamma or something like that. When most of the people who played the originals are going to want literally anything except that. Like, just anything but Gamma will make us happy. So I think if people keep an open mind on both ends of the spectrum, we could certainly mend some of the Zoomer-Boomer violence that has been going on online, with people screeching back and forth about how they hate something or like something. So I really think if you just play it for what it is and realize it's an okay game, it's great, and that it is just a video game at the end of the day, I think that, yeah, we're probably going to be just fine. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you got your questions answered. If you left them. I think I got everybody's. But stay tuned for more content. If you did like the video, feel free to like and subscribe, just like always. And again, I do try to post at least 3 times a week, so you should hit that little bell guy to stay up to date on the latest videos. And until next time, guys, I will see you in the zone.